Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. So this is going to be a Warlord guide. I've had quite a few requests for guides on Warlord since I've been doing my champion guides over the last couple of weeks. So obviously this is somebody that's pretty rare to get. Extremely good champion. He's good in a lot of areas of the game. So he's a Void champion and legendary, which means he's pretty much up there as one of the hardest champs you can get. He's also useful right across the board. So what I'll do is I'll start off and just talk through his skills. He's got an A1. This is probably what he's best known for. Since getting other people with a similar style A1, although it's amazing, it's actually not what I think he's best at, but I'll get onto that later. So his A1 attacks one enemy, has 25% chance when booked up goes to 40% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on the target. So if you've got Clan Boss and you've got him set up with a load of poisons and decreased defense and that type of stuff, then basically he's got a 40% chance of extending those debuffs by a turn. You can make that up to 45% chance with a skill in the mastery called Sniper, which I would definitely suggest you take if you want to use them on Clan Boss. That's a really good skill. It just helps you extend the damage you do to Clan Boss massively. It also helps you be able to take different champions into Clan Boss that aren't just so poison focused. So yeah, what I would say though, it also it's got a 40% chance to land, which 60% chance to miss. And for anyone who doesn't have him and thinks he's the way to win this game, he can also be really frustrating because that 60% chance to misses a lot. Sometimes you go on runs of hit, and then all of a sudden, 3 turns later you think, where have all the poisons gone? Well, that's because he's missed 5 in a row. So, yeah, but still, good ability, really good for Clan Boss. The second ability is, I think, probably his best ability. So he puts a block debuffs buff on all allies for 1 turn. He then places a shield equal to 30% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 2 turns, and he heals them by 25% of their HP. So, I mean, it's an insane ability. In Clan Boss, it can be the way that you get through that kind of second harder AoE hit without really taking any damage. In the arena, it stops you getting a load of decreased defenses and that type of stuff. If you're just going through kind of general content and things like spiders can't land poisons on your team whilst this is on. They're also shielded from damage. They're also gaining heals. It's just an insane ability. It's really good. It's only on a 3-turn cooldown once it's booked. So on Clan Boss, you can actually use this as a speed run and consistently use it. So if I then look at his A3, which is also very good for different parts of the game, not useful for Clan Boss at all. It's a turn meter manipulator, but it is useful in basically every other area of the game. It attacks all enemies. When booked, it goes up to 100% chance for each target steals on cooldown. I mean, until you've had this done to you, you don't realise how damaging it is. I actually had it done to me in one of my arena videos recently, and I don't think I'd ever been on the receiving end. And I was just saying, why can I not use any of my skills? So if you've got a 5-turn cooldown on an A3 and this hits you, you've got to wait 5 turns to use that ability again. It is insane when it lands. So it's got 100% chance to land. All you need is the right accuracy to make it land. And then on top of that as well, he's also got a 30% chance, which gets buffed up to 50%, to fully deplete the target's turn meter. The 1 in 2, you should deplete the turn meter as well. For arena, this is insane. For faction wars, it's amazing. For some of the dungeon runs, it's amazing. Things like dragons and ice golems. Yeah, so Warlord for me is just a great all-round champion. He's also got this aura, which increases resistance in all battles by 50. It's okay. It's good for arena if you're building a resistant team. Probably wouldn't use it anywhere else, to be fair. I do use him in the arena though as a lead because of this. So I do build a resistant team. So the way I've got him built at the moment is high resistance, okay accuracy, high sustainability really, very high HP, reasonable defense, pretty slow. He's there really to shield and protect my team in the arena. That's what I've mainly got him built for. But you definitely can build him to be more clan boss focused, and for that what I'd suggest you do is get yourself to the right speed for your clan boss. So if you're doing Nightmare, you're talking 171 to 189. If you're talking Ultimate Nightmare, you're talking 191 to 209. And once you've got the right speed, you want to have a good balance between HP and defense. HP is one of the few champions that I'd say build HP on him, because actually his shield benefits from HP. So everyone in your team benefits from him having high HP. So whereas I'd say 95% of champions, I'd say stack defense, stack defense, stack defense. Warlord, I'd actually say no, have a good balance between the two. He's never going to be a damage dealer. Don't worry about attack. Don't worry too much about crit rate, crit damage. They're nice to haves, they're not must haves. If you've got him on clan boss, his damage will come from War Master, not from general hits. So I'm just going and do a quick review on him. So arena offense, I'd say 5. Clan boss, definitely a 5. Campaign, probably a 3. He's not going to be a campaign farmer. He does help on Nightmare campaign to carry your farmer. Arena defense, I'd say he's a 5. Dragons, 5. Spiders, he's probably a 5. He's got turn meter and he can block the spider poisons. Ice golems, he's a 5. Minnow, he can just do it with anyone anyway. Same with all the keeps. It's not really much that I would say he is weak against. Probably one of the best all-round champions, I'd say. So really good, really good. I talked about masteries then. So at the moment I've got him set up to be my arena tank, healer, shielder. So everything here is about him staying tanky. It's about him applying bigger shields to people. It's about him trying to gain some turn meter and having high resist. Yeah, everything here is about him having more HP, higher heals, high value shields, and it kind of carries down into a point where his shield buff can actually get an extra turn because of this ability. So everything on this side is shields and healing. This one's nice because he casts so many buffs throughout fights. He's actually got a chance to gain turn meter when those buffs then drop off. So yeah, generally this is a defense build. If I was using him in clan boss, I would actually go something more similar to this. So I would take this line here. This is a clan boss build for Warlord. So diagonal down, straight down to War Master, and I would actually take this ability as my main one. So I would go here, 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 down there, and probably this one here. So kind of similar to the Bad L, but I'd shift it over like this. Wouldn't have these ones. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you him in a couple of dungeons, and just kind of give you a feel for what he's like in dungeons. So let's get into spiders. So he was one of my first kind of support members, if you like, for spiders before I had a really strong strat going with Ignatius and that. So pretty much what we do, let's put that into the right way. So yeah, he was one of the first ones that helped me clear. So I would have, hate it when I keep doing that, I would have Ignatius lead for basically the burn to the spider. I had Morley as my spiderling tank. Warlord was protecting Morley, and then had one Royal Guard for nuke ability. Although I can probably change that out for, no, I'll do a Royal Guard. Royal Guard for nuking, and then I just had a healer in, which was Steel Skull. So the idea is most of the damage comes from this guy. Warlord is basically throwing up shields to protect Morley, who's going to be my spiderling tank, and it's also going to protect Morley from the poisons, because the shield he throws up blocks debuffs. You see, so we have a chunk of damage. The HP burn goes on across all the spiders, and that is basically where the damage comes from on the spider with this setup. See how quickly he's going down? I wish I could turn that ability off, because actually what he does is he kills the spiders too fast, and then it means we kind of extend the fight. See, now the shield goes up, so basically we take no sleep there, which we could have taken from that spider. And any spiderlings now that come after Morley, when she does throws up her taunt, she'll take no poison from it. But in an ideal world, I have this set up so that Warlord had his War Master Clan Boss kind of setup, rather than this setup. This is much more of a PvP set. I don't have enough gems to just change every set of masteries whenever I want to show a guide. It's pretty impossible to do. But you'll see, so this will just sort of flow through. He also, every A1, he extends things like these poisons and burns, so that never really runs off on the spider. You're kind of waiting with this setup for the second round of all of the nuke abilities to come in. Hoping we get a clutch heal here from Steel Skull. Oh, there's a shields up. Yeah, here we go. The second round of nuke abilities, comes the burns. As I say, that this is where a lot of the damage is done. Probably, ideally, don't want Royal Guardian. You want Cold Heart, because Cold Heart only hits the spider, doesn't hit all these spiderlings, and I want the spiderlings to burn to death, ideally, not be kind of nuked to death. You see, so we're under no pressure. The team is kind of completely safe, and that's mainly because Warlord is just kind of keeping everybody shielded up, healed up. So we've got two people kind of acting as tanks, whilst we've got two people kind of doing the damage. One healer, or two healers. This was pretty much the first team that I ever cleared Spiders 20 with, before I'd kind of got all the speed farms going and that sort of thing. It's not the quickest because I've only really got two people doing any sort of damage to the spider. Finally got my decreased defense. Actually not got the highest accuracy in the world. But yeah, obviously at the time I was doing it, I had people geared specifically towards making this an easier fight, which I don't right now. See, we're kind of getting closer. Also a lot of poisons now that are chunking up. The burns. Hopefully this should be it, unless he eats up these spiders too quickly. See the damage that does though, how much it chunks it down. All those burns are still sitting there. This is definitely going to be the end. Oh, unless he does that. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to end up being a close to a 4-minute fight. Again, if I think back to when I did this first time around, I would have had War Master on my Ignatius, I would have had War Master on my Morley, and I would have had War Master on my Warlord as well. So that would have done a lot more damage when they're doing their A1s. Here you go, 4-minute fight. They're not the quickest in the world, but it kind of shows you how that actually works in reality. And he's also very good on Ice Golems, because he can protect you against the big slams. This is a setup I got for Ice Golems. He's in it really nicely. The main reason he's here on this fight is to drop turn meter and to protect the team from when the main Ice Golem does his kind of retribution hit. I don't know what it's called, reflect hit or whatever. And that can hurt a lot, so clearly having a massive shield on you helps you with that. So I think I normally do this in 2.5, 3 minutes, depending on luck with RNG. Sometimes we have good old Royal Guard kill himself when they throw up their kind of shrieks. About now? I didn't, because he had the Warlord shield on there. You see how he stayed alive? If there was no shield, he's 100% dead there. Basically, the reason I've got Old Town in this team is because he can come in and resurrect this silly fella every time he falls over. All he's got to do is kill somebody. Like that. See him back up. But yeah, so Warlord throws his shields on, keeps the heals up, and we kind of get through the waves in about, what, 115, 120 or so? Not too bad. See, the team will take out the ads first. You see this kind of massive shield always on us. Just keeps us in the game. It basically takes all of the kind of worry out of this stage of the fight, which you can end up taking quite a lot of damage. Most of my damage actually comes from Tomb Lord in this fight, this part of the fight, with his poisons that he lays and his kind of decreased defense abilities. There the ads, and then we'll get to work on the boss. Keep those shields up for when he does his big hits. Like that. See that? Basically no worries. And it's a kind of rinse and repeat. That's what I needed. Those poisons to keep landing. So that's where a lot of the damage comes from. I kind of do this with multiple teams, but Warlord's always been a kind of big factor for me here. He's definitely capable in Dragon. I'm not going to show you Dragon as well because it's kind of the same thing but slightly easier. He'll just protect your team from the waves so that your damage dealers can go out and do what they need to do. He's not super brilliant in Fire Knights actually. I don't know if I rated him 5 in Fire Knights. He's not super brilliant, but he does have turn meter disruption, so it's quite useful to be able to reduce the turn meter of the Fire Knight once you've got the shield down. Obviously he'll protect you when the big hits come back on an AoE, providing you got it in the right place. See here, this is going to be big hits now because we've got 2 coming in a row. If we didn't have those shields on, I 100% would die. But as it stands, it's going to drop. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you then, I'll show you a quick PvP battle. Because I actually think that's where he shines the most. So let's just refresh. Still in plat just about. Guys up. This is a really strong team actually. So, okay, that'll do. The idea here is basically Warlord is throwing up big shields for me at the start. See these big shields? Got a lot of damage coming at us early. So I need to try and mitigate as much of that damage as I can. Pretty much mitigated all of it through the shields. The mage will then kind of give us our threat back. What I want to do now with Warlord, so I can do one of two things. I can either put everyone's turn on cooldown, everyone's abilities on cooldown, or I can throw up this shield and block debuffs. I'm going to go for the cooldown and try and reset turn meter as well. See all of those go up? Turn meter down, turn meter down, turn meter down, reset, cooldowns on abilities on a few of them. Now I can quite happily kill this guy without worry of him being rezzed for a couple of turns. Because I've put her abilities on cooldown. Turn meter down. It's a massive, it's a crazy good move from Warlord there. Now what I do is I'll just shield them up, block any debuffs that will come at me, so I don't want to get defense downs and weak stuff on me. Old Town can do his thing, slamming people for 80 odd K, and then it's just a kind of quite easy rinse up for what's coming next. So this is where I think Warlord is best, but obviously that's because I've got champions which help me in Clan Boss in different ways. So I've actually got a Vizier who does what Warlord does with his A1, but slightly, well, a lot better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you Clan Boss. I'm just going to throw some faster boots on him. I wouldn't use this gear at all in Clan Boss. I would use speed boots and generally kind of full on speed set, I think, but with defensive stats. Find some speed boots. They will do. Oh, I'm already wearing speed boots. Because I've got no speed in any of this stuff. Okay, I'm not going to change all the sets over. I can just show you what is A1 and that do. So this is my normal setup. Vizier has kind of replaced my Warlord because he just does what Warlord does but better. So I'm going to throw Warlord in there. Because Warlord's now in there, I actually need to change my whole team around because Vizier is so strong at what he does, I never feel like my debuffs will drop off. In fact, they never do. Whereas with Warlord, there's a good chance they will drop off. So with Warlord, I have to have a more frequent and more capable attack down. I also need more poisons coming in. It's going to be Nephral. So we've got heals, we've got defense down, attack down, we've got counter attack, and we've got heals and kind of buffs. Don't have a defense up. Actually, probably better just for showing you this to do this. Green hits red hard anyway. Blue's gonna take some pain. That'll do. Okay, so I won't do it on auto. What I would advise is he is better by a long way if you manual with him. Now it's slower. You can do what you want. I've got good hits off without manualing before, but if you manual, he will do a lot better. So you see here, if I slow it down, when he goes in for his counter attack, he's got a chance when he lays his A1 here of increasing debuff. See all of those? So all of those just ticked up one level. Now, for the whole early part of the game, all I would advise you do is A1. For the whole early part. I've realised that Tyrell is wearing gear where he has got rubbish accuracy. So this might be a short run anyway. So let's speed that up. So yes, all I would do, if I'm running this manually, I kind of play it through like this. Not until I get to about 6 or 7 minutes that I start to use Warlord for different abilities. And those different abilities are more to protect the team than to extend debuffs. You probably want his accuracy to be well up towards 240 to definitely hit that regularly on Nightmare Clan Boss, but probably around 200 if Ultimate Nightmare, but probably around 200 on Nightmare Clan Boss, and you kind of go down maybe in about 30s from there. So if you were at Brutal, you'd probably want about 170, etc. So it kind of goes like that. You see here, we've got all of these ones. We really want to land this. If that's Vizier, all of these debuffs will not drop off. That will extend it. Because it's Warlord, that 40% chance missed, it means all of these are going to drop off. If it landed, that's another 200k damage that stays on the clan boss. Didn't land, and that's what I mean when I say he's not kind of be all and end all to clan boss. He is very good, but he misses often and can be quite frustrating to use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward this, let this play out, and I'm going to just show you what he can do towards the kind of end of the clan boss fight. Okay, so we're kind of like 5 minutes in. Because my Tyrell is not in his right gear, he's not landing his decreased attack, means this fight's going to be over much earlier than it normally would. So what I'm going to show you here is what can happen having a Warlord in your team. So on the second AoE wave, we're about to lose this Unkillable, and Bad L's in bad shape as well. See, he throws up this massive shield and heals at the same time. And basically what will happen is, on this sort of level of clan boss, see the damage mitigation there, it's huge. So even though he's got no attack down, normally you'd get a wipe at that stage. He's just able to kind of keep your team in the game for a long time. You know, easily into kind of 10 minutes. If attack down is here and on like it should be at this stage, then there's literally nobody that is going to be getting nuked from this ability whilst he's kind of laying that on. So as I say, you're kind of better off still manualing with this guy because you're in control when those kind of abilities are used. But look at that damage that's been done because we've got no attack down on. Just getting resisted all the time, so I got him in the wrong gear. Yeah, see, just not landing it. And he's weak affinity, which again doesn't help as well. So, same thing again, because it's on a 3 turn cooldown, it's right back up again, ready for this. Right back up, and then for that second AoE, everybody is just kind of laughing at him, saying, "Yeah, is that what you got?" Yeah, it's a shame. I should have checked his gear before I put him in, because this would have actually been a reasonable run to show you the sort of damage you can put out with a team. But as it stands, this team's not going to do anywhere near the damage it should. So anyway, I cut off again there. We'll kind of just let it run through. Okay, so I guess I can't actually show you faction wars, but because of Warlord in the team, where are we? Where are we? It's one of my most successful crypts. I got 42 stars out of the Orc crypt. I was definitely able to finish the kind of what level boss is that? The stage 14 boss of him, and he's also pretty clutch on the sort of stage 15 when you start getting all the nuke stuff coming from all of the like arbiters and that, the starting champs. So look, all in all, I think Warlord's an excellent champ. I think he's totally versatile. You can build him in like 6 different ways and he'd still be useful for your teams. And yeah, I think if you get him, you're very lucky. This has been Hell Hades. Hope you enjoyed the guide. Catch you later.